we start off with... Ow! Fuck! Oh, of course, because it's not a YFT game without loud-ass music ear-raping you on the menu screen. Fuck's sake. After we've gotten over the welcoming tinnitus, we agree to an old Albert Einstein reject who is seemingly lost in a Vietnam flashback. Oh, and his pet cat, who's used his master's absent-mindedness to help himself to the entire stock of LSD.
What is it with this company and fucked up animals? You'd think that the simplicity of the style of animation would make it so easy just to make something simple and cute. But no, even a fucking cat that looks like it was drawn in MS Paint has to look like it's looked into the untempered schism.
Also, why can't it blink the whole way? Why doesn't the old man blink at all? What happened to these two? Right, so you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Depending on your level, it's easy as fuck or actually quite difficult, given that you have to do some triple figure multiplication.
It should probably be known at this point that maths was never really my strong suit. I did pass the exams, but I was always better at English, so given how bad I am at that, you should probably get ready for some disappointment.
Still, even as someone who doesn't have much mathematical prowess, I do immediately see the flaws in the way that this is presented. It lacks anything more complicated than timesing two numbers together or adding or subtracting two numbers together. I'd say that it's not a terrible tool for basic mathematics, provided that the answers are right, of course, and as far as I'm aware, most of them are. However, I don't know if this would be to much use outside of primary school, or to anyone who struggles with anything but times tables and basic addition and subtraction and division. This isn't too big of a complaint, as it's clear what the game's intention is, but it was a constant thought as I played this.
It's also not much of a game either.
I understand that this is supposed to be an educational tool first, and that they do try to make it somewhat fun, hence the title, but the basic nature of the game makes it about as involved as a flash game, or one of those teaching things that you get on a presentation slide. All that happens when you get an answer right is that an object slowly glides along the screen, or you get it wrong and bugger all happens. Given that we have games like I Hope for kids these days, I kind of expect more from a game that's being sold for money on Steam. Ah, fuck. My nose is blocked up. But yeah, when a game's being sold on Steam to kids, I'd kind of like it to have a higher standard of quality, rather than looking like something that could have been made in the days of Windows XP.
Although I really don't know why I'm expecting all this professionalism from a game sold on Steam when Little Big Planet is more selective about what goes on it. Oh look, there's coins. Useless fucking coins.
It'd also help if the animations were a bit more impressive, since this train seemingly has 3 carriages of the same animals over and over again, and none of the background characters seem to be doing much at all. When the characters do things, they just hump the air like this old nonce. Speaking of him, why is he just floating in the air? And why does he fade in and out? Is he a ghost? I suppose that'd be good if it turned out he was dead, the miserable old fuck. Speaking of the assets, there's that classic trait of a YFT game where art styles clash constantly. Like, we have this mobile game-esque 2D goblin motherfucker and his opponent a 3D mobile game chivalrous motherfucker. These two clearly don't belong on the same plane of existence, yet here we are. I swear, if these got any more jarring in how different they are, the TARDIS would probably shrink. I'm somewhat torn as to whether or not I'd call this good on any level. On the one hand, it has a lot of problems that YFT games have in general, but on the other, it achieves what it wants to achieve, and it being a competent maths revision game basically leaps and bounds for a company like this. It has various levels that change the size of the numbers involved in the sum, but the complexity of said sum stays the same no matter what. I'd say that the amount of help that this thing can provide is rather limited, and especially if you're a human calculator, you're probably not going to find this to be all that challenging. But is this the worst thing I could inflict on a kid? No, not really. It's just a shame that nothing else about this game is remotely appealing. I mean, it's weird to the point that it's interesting on some level, but who on planet Earth sees this elf on the back of a tiger doing jumps for the pleasure of an audience from a WWF game under this scientist and thinks, yeah, that's game design? Oh, and it of course recycles assets, like Bunny from Funtoon's World.
You know, I'm actually amazed that John and Kelly don't appear in some form.
It says 2 add something equals 4. Oh, fuck. This is too hard. I've just noticed that kid. And that kid. And that. She's like, why is his head bigger than her? Who's that pervert? Oh, fuck it, it's 2. Okay.
One thing that I noticed is that the counting game is seemingly the same sequence of numbers every time. Or at least it was both times when I played it. So for that one, a kid doesn't even need to get good at maths, he just has to remember the order. Though, given how much effort that would be, you might as well learn how to count. Fuck it, next game.
I actually want to know what happens if you fuck up. Oh, that was correct. I didn't even look. Oops. Okay. Let's make sure I get it wrong. So let's say it's. Oh, I thought it was addition. I'm a complete tit. Incorrect. Oh, they just do nothing. I thought he would have, like, burst into flames. Mind you, then you'd give the kids an incentive to fuck it up on purpose every time. Which, you know, is not ideal, really, as a situation.